This is the 91st minute. The big match of the weekend was Chelsea versus Liverpool. An exciting game, I think, for the neutral to watch. Both teams, obviously, with that big debacle over Moises Caicedo. Both teams trying to sign him. One day it was Liverpool, the next it was Chelsea. Heartbreak for a lot of Liverpool fans. I thought the game was really nice. Very, very fun game. Some quality football from Liverpool, despite no midfield. Anyhow, let's get your guys' thoughts on the game. Hoff, what were your general thoughts on the Liverpool-Chelsea game?
It was a good way to end the weekend. I know there's a match today, but it was a good way to end the weekend. It was for a match day one fixture. I thought it was pretty peak Premier League. You had VAR in there, some questionable officiating, new manager on one side, pretty much new look team on one side. Lots of money dropped and fighting over midfielders. It was, I enjoyed it. And the match itself was a good match. I'm happy with the draw as far as table wise for how it relates to my club, but yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah. Milo, your thoughts on the affair?
Yeah, so I tuned in about 15 minutes in, so I watched most of the rest of the game. I mean, often the game that's billed as the biggest game of the weekend is not always the most entertaining. This was a fairly entertaining game, I thought, although, the scoreline 1-1 could have done with a little bit more drama, for the opening weekend. But I suspect Chelsea, given the season they had last year, will be happy with a point at home to Liverpool, and I believe Liverpool, again, with the way their season went last year, I think away at the Bridge, tough opening fixture. I think they'll be happy with the point as well. I was pleased to see Luis Diaz get on the score sheet. It reminded me to put him straight back into the FPL team because I actually forgot all about him because he missed most of last season. And I mean, interesting. There were chances for I think Chelsea had a couple of chances late on. Mudryk in particular set one up that I thought probably should have been put away. I think from my perspective, I thought Chelsea maybe edged it in terms of who probably should have, put another chance away. The VAR stuff and all the rest of it, I mean, usual, nothing crazy. We're going to get bogged down in VAR. We'll have countless segments this season that will be VAR centric. I have no doubt about it. I mean, we should really have one tonight. Well, we will. We'll have it in the Man United section.
Well, we can have one now as well with the Nicholas Jackson handball, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
What did you think? Did you feel it was a handball? Did you think it was the right call? Hoff, what do you think?
I think, man, that's so tough because I mean, his arm is in a natural position. Who know what the hell's his hand doing up here? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird one, right?
I don't know, man. This is part of my ignorance. Has the handball rule changed in the last 3 months? Because I know it changes almost every season, it seems like.
The only thing I read about was something about there being a deflection shortly before the handball.
Okay.
So Luis Diaz does get ahead to it, but I don't know if I'm unclear on. I literally went to the rule, like while the game was on a side screen. I pulled up the rule book, the IFAB rule book. Autocomplete on my browser was there. Because I've been looking it up so many times. And I looked it up, and it doesn't say anything about deflection. But then I read online, and everyone's saying, "Oh, if the ball is taking a deflection, they give the benefit, and the arm is in a somewhat natural position. You give them the benefit of the doubt." I don't know exactly what it is. But I thought, it was the silhouette argument, which I kind of go along with. If the hand wasn't there, it would have hit his chest. I don't know. It's a tough one. But I think it's a fair call. I don't know. I believe it was 1-1 at the time.
Yeah. We're always on the fence, right? We talk about it every season. We talked about it endlessly last year. It's what should the call be? do you take into account the scoreline? Do you take into account the temperature of the game? You know, the anger levels of the players. Do you take all that into account, or do you just ref it by the book, right? And I mean, I think having the referee has to have some ability. Otherwise, eventually, it might as well just be a robot, right? The referee has to have some sort of discretion to say, you know, in my opinion, that is that, and that's the end of it. You know what I mean? It's just when they get it clearly wrong is more of a talking point. That's why for me, this one wasn't really a mega VAR deal.
How about the goal by Liverpool, though? Beautiful ball from McAllister into Salah, and then Salah with a nice pass into Luis Diaz. And you'll have a first-time shot like that. It's just always nice to see.
Yeah, that ball from Salah was incredible. I love a ball that it just finds a guy through defenders. It was beautiful.
It is, and I'm a big Luis Diaz fan, as I mentioned earlier. Like, I'm really happy to see him back. I thought the season before, you know, when he arrived at Liverpool, just a really exciting player to watch, and I hope he has a good season, just not against us.
And on the other side, the new signing, apparently you say his name Dizazi.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, I would pronounce it Disassi.
Disassi. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. But apparently it's Dizazi, which is, you know, set up
Isn't that
perfectly.
a brand of mineral water?
Oh, yeah, I think it is. Dizazi. No?
Or something like that.
Dasani?
Oh, Dasani.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
But his name, you know, you can see that in the newspapers, you know, disastrous or something, you know. If he has a game in the future, it's just set up for that. But yeah, he got a goal on his debut, which was nice. I thought it was funny when Salah has scored. Was it the streak is, I think he had 7 opening days in a row. Yeah, he scored.
Yeah.
And then when he got subbed off, I don't know if you guys saw this, but he had some tape on his hand, and each time he took a piece of tape off, the crowd would go, "Hey!" and another piece, "Hey!" It was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty good.
I think I read that he wasn't happy to come off. Is that accurate?
He was kind of like pouting and taking one piece of tape off, like, and he didn't shake Klopp's hand every time, or when he walked off, which is pretty funny. Yeah. But yeah, interesting.
That's what you want, though, man. You want your best players to be. You want them to be angry.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because they'll do more next time and don't get subbed off. I don't know. Or maybe Klopp's just being smart and saying, "Hey, this is the first game." You know.
He got subbed off for like a young kid as well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name, but the elephant in the room leading up to the match was Moises Caicedo, right? One night I go to bed and I think, damn, Liverpool have Caicedo, they have McAllister, you know, Klopp's talking about switching to a, you know, possession style system, which is obviously not his preferred. And then the next morning I wake up, he's chosen Chelsea. How big of a blow do you think that is for Liverpool? And rumors are the second target, Lavia, is also agreed to join Chelsea. So who is on the market? I don't even know who's on the market.
Only Todd Bowley knows who's on the market. like it's, you know, I mean, I think it is a blow. The same way it's a blow that Arsenal in January, when they tried to get him, couldn't persuade Brighton to part terms with him for less than 100 mil. Brighton have stood firm the whole time. They had Caicedo come back, made sure that they could get a fee for him in the summer. By I think they extended his deal, right, in January.
I think so.
Just to make sure they could get the fee. You know, and they've. This is it. Chelsea have put up the money, and you know, I think Liverpool valued him, or were willing to pay more than Arsenal were, and then Chelsea are willing to pay more than Liverpool. So, as a supporter of a club that's been on the negative side of that equation many times, what do? You just got to get on with it. I think I don't know if Liverpool have any other targets other than Lavia, as you said, but yeah, it's got to be a blow. But at the same time, I feel like Bowley again. I don't know if he learned from last year. He's going to throw a bunch of pieces in, see what comes out the other end. It doesn't. What is their philosophy? What is their strategy? You know what I know. Obviously, with the manager now, you're thinking it's Poch, so it should be fast attacking football. But like, you know, is Poch asking for these pieces, or are they just getting given to him?
Yeah. That's I appreciate or enjoy the fact that Chelsea's just handed Brighton like over 200 million in the past three windows, because they got Caicedo, Cucurella, and Robert Sanchez as well. So they're kind of helping Brighton's business model along there. But yeah, we said it all last year that Liverpool needed to strengthen their midfield, and they did. McAllister's a great signing. Szoboszlai's, I think he's going to be fantastic. And they lost Henderson, Fabinho. I think Oxlade-Chamberlain left as well. So I think as far as a need, Liverpool definitely needed him more. Because Chelsea just dropped over 100 million on Enzo in January as well. So yeah, it definitely seems like they're just throwing money around, especially with the Lavia thing. That's the baffling one to me. Like, they've signed all these guys. Is he expecting a lot of playing time? That just is. I don't know. That one seems puzzling to me.
It must be something about the project. You know, it must be like
okay.
And London, right? The Chelsea project might be more attractive and playing in London, but yeah, you got to wonder who else is on the market. Yeah,
like obviously the name that comes out, I assume it's Conor Gallagher that gets dropped to bring in Caicedo.
Well, yeah, but there's also an idea of playing with a proper. I mean, Poch said in his post-match press conference that he played with a back four, which is, I don't think that's true. But
no, I don't.
I think he wants to play with a proper back four in the future, and in which case you could potentially have Gallagher, Caicedo, and Enzo, or Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo. Yeah, in a 4-3-3. Yeah, with Caicedo, because Caicedo likes to drop into the back line as well. So.
But then again, if they get Lavia, I just feel like somebody's going to have to make way, surely. I know Chelsea don't really do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll have to have someone will have to sit on the bench, etc. But yeah, definitely can't see Enzo being dropped, can't see Caicedo being dropped. So it'll be Gallagher and Lavia for that final spot. But yeah, interesting stuff. I think the Amrabat move that United are looking at might be thwarted by Liverpool's need for a defensive mid. Amrabat was linked to Liverpool at one time, but all the rumors that you hear online are saying that he's going to go to United, and that he just wants United. Blah blah blah. But yeah, Liverpool pretty desperately need him. I mean, we'll talk about United as well, but I don't know who else is on the market that would be available. I can't imagine Madrid would be willing to part with Tchouameni, even though there have been rumors of him leaving. I just can't think of any top defensive mids that would be on the market. Someone in chat said Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams apparently agreed to go to Bournemouth apparently now, so wow. They've bought him. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see who Liverpool end up going with, because they desperately need somebody in that position.
If you enjoyed the content, please do subscribe to the 91st Minute here on YouTube and use the links in the descriptions to follow us on all social media platforms.